Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 27 of the Ashton Gate 8 with me, Ringo FM. I've gone all the way through to the 1st of January. Obviously, we want to progress this as quickly as we can to sort of get to the whole point of what we're trying to do. And again, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling with the save at the minute because the players who got us there are now not good enough. The players that we brought in to replace them who are good enough are just not performing. I mean, we're on the 1st of January and Michael Coyote is our top assister with 3 assists. It's not good enough. The wingers have been dreadful. David De Gea is our highest average rating because he's just getting peppered with shots every game. Mason Greenwood's the top goal scorer with only 6. He's dropped off a cliff. If you look at his form, I mean, he got himself sent off against Bournemouth, but look at this. He's just not scoring consistently at all. It's a very big worry. A very big worry. So what we've done is we come into January and I thought we can have a little look at the squad. We can play this game against Wolves. We'll ignore the cup game against Derby. We may play the United game, but we can do the game against Wolves, have a little look at the squad and have a little look at sort of who we need to get rid of, what's going on, and look at one of the new signings we did bring in. And that signing who came in, he is on the thumbnail to the video. It is world-class central midfielder Serge Milinkovic-Savic. An unbelievable pickup, to be completely honest with you. He's great, gets into the opposition area, moves into the channels, gets forward whenever possible, shoots a power, likes to switch the ball to the wide areas, natural as a box-to-box, can play advanced like as an attacking midfielder, as a shadow striker, he can play as a DM, but again, I think box-to-box or central midfield attack, probably central midfield attack, that's where he's been training. He is the best one, best position to use there. On a free after being released by Al Hilal, 102 games, 22 goals down there in Saudi. So he's come in, and then again, someone like Christian Eriksen, who is now 34, is still declining. It was wanted by a couple of teams, but is out of contract in the summer. Isn't really interested in signing a new one. So it looks like Eriksen might be going out the door. There's a few people. Tom Cannon wants to leave. Ayumi Seiko wants to leave. So we've unregistered him just so we can jig the squad around a bit. Trevor's wanted on loan by a lot of teams. Charlie Frith wanted by Blackburn once again. Has significant potential and break into the first team sooner than expected. To be honest, I might even loan him out then. I'm just in we keep saying it, we're in like this transition phase, and partly my fault. Someone like Jayden Bogle I spoke about in yesterday's episode, we thought Jayden Bogle was going to come in and be like a good first choice right back, but then Michael Coyote, because he's the top assister, I can't not play him. Someone like Cozy Dewberry, Blackburn are interested in him as well. He's obviously worth about £30 million. He's not really progressing any more than he has done. Obviously, it does slow down. Ege Aslan is a player who I think we can like build the team around. He needs more game time. It's just whether we can sort of fit him in anywhere. I think he's a great player. Definitely like one of our most creative players, but we need to move people like Eriksen, Cannon, like players like that out. I think Mariba and Milinkovic-Savic are going to be the main two. And then we need like a proper DM that could potentially be Ege Aslan as like a defensive midfielder, a deep line playmaker on defend, which is what he likes doing. Lorenzo Luca, coincidentally, just happened to be there in that particular moment. He's doing very well, performing well. When he's coming in, he's playing well. He's linking the play up. He's that type of player that we want. Hodza is doing well. He was wanted by a couple of teams. He's 24 now, so he's there or thereabouts his prime. Christian Bellic, again, is playing well, there or thereabouts in his prime, but I think we've just got too many players to sort of jig around. Obviously, I mentioned the wingers have been absolutely disgraceful. It might be a chance for me to get rid of the wingers, because the wing backs are good, and maybe go to like a 4-1-2-on-2 or something along those lines, and maybe try that out. I mean, even Dan James, who came in on a free, has not been very, very good, has been less than, below average. I think the injury to Cole Palmer didn't help. He is on his way back. He twisted his ankle, but he's been out for a while. He 1 goal, 1 assist, but has been playing very well. You can see in the cup games and friendlies and that as well. He's been very good. He was quite a big outlay, so I want to get Cole Palmer in the team as much as possible. But yeah, we're just struggling on what to do. I mean, I'm really, really thinking of literally doing this and dropping the wingers and maybe going to like a 4-1-3-2, 4-1-2-1-2, something like that. In terms of like advanced midfielders, Savic, Greenwood, Mariba, Kratzig. So in theory, what I was thinking of doing is Cozy Dubry will probably leave. Probably. I'm not sold on that. But this is kind of what I was thinking of doing, just to get like all the players who are performing well in and around the team. Lorenzo Luca there. Greenwood can play as either like a shadow striker or an attacking midfielder. I might even do shadow striker for that. I'm thinking of doing something like that. And then we've got basically 4 players in and around 5. We've obviously got the wing backs getting forward as well, but then we've got the cover at the back. I'm just struggling. It's been a struggle. The players are. I'll show you the dynamics in a second. Like the team aren't gelling well. There's a couple of unhappy players, which I think we just need to get rid of. So the dynamics are looking like this. They're content and unlikely to take serious issue. Obviously, there's 2 players wanting to leave. No one really disagrees or agrees with them. It looks like Eriksen's probably going to want to go as well. But the team just aren't blending well together at all. And it's really frustrating because I've got a good team there. I've got a good team. Apologies if you can hear. Every time I go to record a video, I'm not even working today, and my work phone's pinging. Bear with me. Honestly, it never bloody stops. So yeah, I mean, again, look at Dango Utara, 6.55. I've got a very good team of players who we used to exploit the flanks an awful lot, and I feel like now teams are fully onto that. So we need to completely change up what we're doing. I have put the Gegenpress on because they're saying that is the most suited for the team. They're happy with like the Y formation. We're scoring a lot of goals apparently. We're not. It's just because we've not been scoring goals. So when we score 1 or 2, they're happy with it. We're just in a really, really poor run of form. Really poor. I mean, changing up here against Wolves might be a silly thing to do because they're only like they're 5 points behind us. But I just think we need to get at them. We need to just go and win the game. I know it sounds easy, just go and win, but I think that's the only thing we can do. Gio is not fit, is he? So we'll bring Tom Cannon in. Obviously, if Tom Cannon does go out, we'll look to bring somebody else in to replace him. We will keep a couple of wingers on the bench. Speaking of wingers, we did sign one. It's this young lad here, Frank Smits. He is a new gen, a Dutch new gen who come in from Vitesse. Vitesse Arnhold, Chelsea's feeder team. A very big outlay, 15 million up front, no add-ons. He was scouted by Radu Biaku, our main chief scout, and like a proper winger can also cover up front, but a proper out and out winger who's got bags of potential ability. I thought it was a bit of a no-brainer to bring him in because obviously if we are looking at moving Cozy Dubry on, which I think I'm leaning towards, then that's going to be the case. We do not want Rafa Marine in there, do we? Yeah, if that is the case, then that's what we're going for. Then that is what we're going for. Corners as well. If we look to... Actually, I need to change this. So, player marking. We want both postmarked. We're going to defend the box. We're going to deliver to the near post. We're going to be balanced in that. And I prefer in-swingers rather than out-swingers, so we're going for that. Just changing it up. Let Sergio Allegri pick that. Because specifically when we're attacking, we want the big men in there: Lorenzo Luca, Serge Milinkovic-Savic. You've got Fallou Diouf, who's at the far post as well. And then again, if we create a new routine and do an in-swing and far post, keep them just both average, then again, Luca and Milinkovic-Savic are there, Fallou Diouf and Sangante can sort of cover at the front as well. And that's just the idea I've had, is keep this sort of narrow team in. Let's change this. So let's just go fully narrow. And then obviously we can change it up. Apparently Diouf and Sangante don't like playing together. I wouldn't really pay attention to that. Brentford are all over Fallou Diouf, by the way, who now has a proper face. Finally, there's an update to the face pack, and Fallou Diouf is there. But yeah, Brentford are sniffing around him. Brentford obviously in the Championship, so would have to give us a silly offer if they wanted to take him off us. But look at this, like a bloated squad. Obviously, a lot of like under 21s in here, but a bloated squad really for what we need. And you know, we're having to like rotate in people like this guy, Melia Fraser, who's only picked up one knock since we brought him in from Wolves, and obviously his injury history at Wolves was really, really bad. His report was saying that he's going to be injured a lot, and we need to be very, very careful on what we're doing with him. He's been fine. He's been absolutely fine, and he's actually come into the first team and performed quite well. He's not scored yet, but again, we're not scoring as a team. So, yeah, I just think changing it up and sort of seeing how we go in this match is the best thing to do. And then we've obviously got the cup game against against Derby, and then the league game against Manchester United to look forward to. I mean, look at that. Recent results, man. Really poor. Wolves bottom of the table, so I'd expect us to get something from this game, even though we have changed everything up. Again, we've just got a better team. That's not a bad ball, to be honest. Again, like this is the problem, though. They'll make silly mistakes. Well done, Ege. They'll make silly mistakes, and then they just don't recover it. And I can't get them out of that funk. It's weird. Borza to Ege. Mariba's lost it. Borza. Oh, he's hit the bottom of the post. Luca. Borza. Penalty. That's a penalty. Excuse me. Coyote goes for goal. That was a penalty. Wolves with a corner. And we're just defending the box because we conceded a lot of set pieces recently. That's a good clearance, and that's why it's those second phases, particularly a game that we played against Arsenal, where they just kept getting onto the second ball. Every single time they were onto that second ball, and it just caused havoc with the team. So, oh no, balls are away. Milinkovic-Savic is there. That's what I want, is this. We will let like Cannon be an advance forward or even a poacher, run the channels, Get Coyote involved. Greenwood now. This is nice. He's got Luca ahead of him, but he goes for goal. You just play a 1-2, lads. Decision making. More importantly, we've had a lot of shots. We've had like 5 efforts already in the first half. Sangante picking it up now. Borza. Nice. Mariba again. Borza, back to Mariba. This is better. Luca's dropped off and it allows Greenwood to go forward. And here is Luca. Mariba, this is nice football, you know. We've got a team full of good players now, so changing tactic. Well done, Ege. Changing tactic to one where we've got to play football a little bit more seems like the best thing to do. And here's Milinkovic-Savic into the area. Oh, he couldn't get his shot away. Do you know what? I'm actually going to change Cannon up to the poacher, because poachers by default and by description cross the ball more, and obviously Luca's going to be in there, Greenwood, Mariba, and Milinkovic-Savic all trying to get in and around the area. It makes sense. Stamenovic to Aït-Nouri, Guedes, Sangante clears, and we play it away. Not properly though, not properly at all. And David De Gea, a full stretch, sees it whistle past his post. That is concerning that they've got players who can have efforts like that. Borza to Mariba. Greenwood. Luca. Back to Ege. He's just keeping us ticking over, Ege Aslan. Obviously only 20. The youth to Milinkovic. That's poor. That's poor. He's not played a lot of football, Milinkovic-Savic, since he was released. He got released in like mid-November, and we couldn't register him because we didn't have enough like homegrown players in, which is why I had to unregister Seko. Obviously, he wanted out anyway, so it wasn't an issue, but it's meant that Milinkovic-Savic, oh my God, it's meant Milinkovic-Savic couldn't play a lot. The defenders, have we got Get Stuck In on? We haven't. I didn't want to go to Gegenpress, but I mean, if we get relegated or sacked, the save is over. It is that simple. If we get relegated, I will be sacked and the save will be over. So if I've got to go to Gegenpress just to sort of get out of this funk, this whatever you want to call it, this blip and form, poor performances, whatever you want to call it, then I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and do it. And then maybe see how we can adapt the team from there. But again, we've got like lads with a lot of legs in them. How have Wolves come back into this match so much, honestly? We should... Oh, sod off, man. That fire up just does not work. It doesn't work. Wolves are all over us now. They're all over us. 8 Nori again to Guedes. It had to be blocked by Diouf. They are all over Bristol City here. Like, we can't get out. We have 5 shots in the open in like 5 minutes. And then since then, it's been all Wolves. And it's just smashed away by Ege. I mean, look, they've come right back into it. Milinkovic-Savic on the free kick. That's interesting. Cleared away by Kalajic. Here's Ege Aslan. Borza. Greenwood. Oh, stop shooting, Mason. Stop shooting. He needs to work it in. He needs to like play 1-2s. Right, Mariba with a corner. He's gone for it to the far post for Lorenzo Luca. Kalajic is there. The battle of the big units at the back post. I actually agree with that. We've been told to work it into the box because all we're doing is shooting from range. I agree with that. 8 Nori now, after the free kick was blocked. He's managed to get it in. De Gea claims it. I thought that was going to be one of them where he just runs and loses the ball in the air. But it's an open game with a better team, and we probably should be doing a lot better. But obviously we have just changed the tactic up, so it's going to take them a minute to get used to it. But both fullbacks playing well. That's what we wanted to see. I don't like it. I'm going to tell them straight. I don't like it. I don't like what I've just seen. Lorenzo Luca isn't really performing, so we are going to bring Francelinho on as the advanced forward. Cannon's fine. Milinkovic-Savic is looking not great. So maybe we switch him up to a box-to-box as well, and then we allow Mariba to do... He likes playing as a Mezzala on attack, and maybe we just swap it up, change that role up. It's very much experimental. Dave brought Kalajic off and put Silva on. That is interesting. Obviously, I don't know whether the game knew I was bringing Lorenzo Luca off, but both teams have brought their big aerial threats off. That is quite an interesting change from both of us. As we look to build from the back again. Oh, balls air. We just stink of a team that don't know what they're doing at the minute. I can't get them out of it. Aslan's tired. He's motivated, but he's tired. He's going to have to come off. Greenwood is now stinking the gaff out. So what I'm going to do is Milinkovic-Savic is going to go there. As I'm going to do Shadow Striker again. Milinkovic-Savic in there. Greenwood's coming out. Trevor Grinsell's coming in as a ball winner on support. And we will allow Mariba to just be a centre mid on support. 2 supporters, 1 defence, and then the attackers up front there. We've got a throw in, which Coyote takes. Cannon, Coyote. Back to Fallou Diouf. Diouf again. Coyote. Grinsell. Ilya Mariba, Milinkovic-Savic. Serge Milinkovic-Savic! Oh, it's a shot on target. I don't like this shadow striker role with 2 strikers in front of him, though, because he doesn't run into the space. He just seems to be shooting from any distance, like Greenwood was doing the exact same. I don't know whether it's just they're not used to it or what, but they're not going beyond their man. I'd actually think advanced playmakers go beyond their man a bit more than that. Here's Pedro Neto. Gotta get there. They're knocking it through, aren't they? Yes, Fallu, well read. They were clean through there. Ball forward to Milinkovic-Savic, and I think you're off, Francelinho. Oh, no, he's not, you know. You back to balls. Oh, it's just wide. Resultant goal kick, which they play long and we win again. Cannon, that's a foul. That's the second time, referee. Guedes, chased by Tom Cannon. Wins it. Well done, Tom. Savage to Francelinho. Cannon. Tries to spread it out wide to Borza, and it's intercepted, and you've got to get there. Thank you, Andre. Still classed as a wonder kid, Andre Borza. He's 20 now. Grinsel's found Savage. Now Mariba. He's running. He's still going, Ilya Mariba. He's still going. Mariba, get your shot away! Oh, what a run! We've looked better. I think the wingers is what was killing us. Good ball in. Headed away again. Got to win the seconds. He does. Eriksen's there, though. Good ball to the far post. Sangante knocks it down. Mariba's there. It's going to end, isn't it? The youth back out to Eriksen. Ball in for Tom Cannon. Get your ball in. Eriksen. Eriksen and Francelinho! Get in! Only his 4th of the season. Oh, God. We've struggled so much for goals. We just kept probing the Wolves box there. Look at this. Eriksen involved in it all. Cannon does well not to shoot. Finds Eriksen. And just presses the ball into the middle of the box where Francelinho taps home. So we've got 2 substitutions left. And I think this... I mean, look, we've had 6 shots on target, 13 shots in total, and a massive XG, so it's definitely working. We're going to bring Borza off for Kratzig. Give him a rest. Coyote does need to come off, but the only one who can play out there is Rafa Marine, so I don't really want to do that to him, and it's really not fair to bring Smits into that. But I'm going to bring Tom Cannon off, and we are going to put Melia Fraser up front against his former team. So we'll see how he gets on. He's a very good player. His attributes are amazing. He just needs that run of games, I think. I followed you with a deep free kick, short to Eriksen. Sangante, Eriksen. That's a silly ball, isn't it, Christian? But we get away with it. And Mariba gives it straight away. Franco. Cunha. Neto. Oh, why is it lagging? Oh my God. Diouf's got it off the line. I thought, why have you headed it? What the fuck are they doing? I thought that deflection had sent it in. I really did. I thought that was going to be 1-1. De Gea just stands there and does some sort of fucking stretch rather than trying to fucking save the ball. Oh, God. We're very lucky that didn't go in. De Gea's going to launch it and look for Fraser. Doesn't win the header off Kilman. Pedro Neto now. Just got to get a foot in, lads. Fabio Silva's header is wide. So many yellow cards, and we've not got get stuck in on. Players cannot tackle. They genuinely can't tackle. Wolves are changing it up again from the looks of it. And we've got a goal kick. Diouf now. We've built a few goals up from the back this year, which again tells me that we have improved just the overall quality of the team. That's a good knock. If Fraser can pick a cross... Oh, he went short to Savage. He should have went back post. Eriksen. Coyote. Get round your man. No. Okay. Oh, we get it in Fraser! Yes! Melia Fraser. His first Bristol goal against his former club. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? The most FM thing normally happens against you. The fact it's happened to me is brilliant. Coyote does really well, gets it in, and Fraser was in front of his man. I mean, that's what we want, look. There's 3 men in the box there, 3 good finishes. You've got Mariba sort of patrolling there as well. We've got the cover at the back with Ericsson and the 2 centre-halves. So we're building something, I think. It looks like it works. Obviously, we've given a lot of chances up, but I think we're very much in that stage of like we just need to score more than the opposition do. Fraser again, this is good play. Coyote back to Fraser. He just didn't follow the ball in, and that's where his inexperience comes in. Melia Fraser, Jose Sarr looking long. We've got to win that header, and the youth does very well. Grinsell. I love Trev, you know. I say this all the time. Look at him. Just keeps us ticking. Savic. Milinkovic-Savic! Oh, he's at the bar! Oh! Okay, I think we're onto something. And again, I would rather just score more than the opposition. Savic again. Fraser is causing Wolves all sorts of problems, and that's what I wanted! And it's Francelinho's! Is it saved? It is saved. That is exactly what I was thinking of when I said a poacher in there with an advanced forward. Because we did it when we played 4-2-4. Ericsson's ball headed away by Totti. But that's exactly what we did. Because, look, Fraser's going to do it again. They don't mind crossing it, and Francelinho's got to win that. He's got to win that header. Do you know what? I was actually toying with the idea of Milinkovic-Savic playing as a striker. Believe it or not, I think he's definitely got the attributes mentally, physically, definitely technically to play as like either a poacher or a pressing forward. Oh, it's poor by Mariba. Well done, Sangante. Kratzig. Ericsson's there. Uses him. Mariba. Milinkovic-Savic. Oh, that was a foul, referee. Francelinho's in again. Into the area, and it's well saved by Jose Sarr. Kratzig with the corner. Is he going near or far? I think he's going near. He is. It's headed away by Santi Bueno. Ericsson down the line for Kratzig. Is onside. Out. No, he's on. He was on. He was well on. And Wolves come forward with 2 minutes left. And if they can get a goal, it makes this game interesting. Here's Semedo. Cunha. Semedo again. Swings it in looking for Fabio Silva. David De Gea punches. And Neil. Oh! Who is this Neil kid? I've seen him a few times for Wolves, and every time we've played them, he seems decent, you know. Coyote with the throw. Milinkovic-Savic. There's not been any fouls given to us this game after. We've not had our rub of the green with the fouls. Long ball. Sangante intercepts. This should just be us seeing the game out now. Ericsson. What is that? That's Christian Eriksen making that pass. And I think that is just purely down to the dynamics being poor. I really do think it's down to the dynamics being poor. That's a good win. We've got poor dynamics, and they looked really good. Defensively, we weren't amazing, but offensively, we were great. I think it was down to the fact that the youth and Sangante had such good games that stopped Wolves from getting a goal there more than anything. That win leaves us in 14th place. Again, I do think there is something in that like narrow formation. Coyote again doing very, very well. Milinkovic-Savic doing well. I'll just show you what I meant when I say I reckon Savic can play as a striker. If we click on his profile, let's just do developments for example. So as a striker, I'm looking, he's massive, he's got good jump and reach. His acceleration, that's not great, but he's got really good stamina, really good strength. Player traits of getting into the opposition's area, moving into the channels, shooting with power, switching the ball wide. Really good mental attributes, like great off the ball, good composure, really good bravery, anticipation. Finishing's good, first touch is brilliant. Like everything, heading, the law. I genuinely think. Let's just do this for example. I genuinely think, look at that as like a deep lying forward. I really think Milinkovic-Savic could actually come in as a striker for us. I think he's better. I mean, if we compared him with, I'd say, for argument's sake, Lorenzo Lucas, our best striker. Where is Lorenzo? Where is he? That is weird. Why can't I find Luca? Am I being daft? Where is he? Oh god, I'm gonna have to do this shit, aren't I? So if we looked at Lorenzo Luca, for example, I'd say he's our best striker, like attribute wise. And then we compare him with why can't I do it? Why can't I compare him with Milinkovic Savic? That's so weird. Did they change that? Anyway, you can see what I mean. I mean, I don't think I'm going to do it. Um, I think I'm going to keep on training as like a box to box midfielder. And maybe I think that's what we need to do with a couple of like the young lads, just see what we've got and just see like where we can sort of rotate them in and bring them in. Obviously, someone like Andre Borza we've had now for what, 3 seasons, 2.5 seasons. He's average, really. They're saying he's a wonder kid. If anybody comes in with any sort of offer for him, we've just got to accept it. I genuinely think Kratzig's a better player, and we've got Charlie Frith there who needs game time. There's a lot of players who need some sort of game time, so we've got to be mindful of that. And again, the thing is, if we do play like this, there's always the scope of literally just doing this, and like your wingers go in, and then you can keep the same sort of style, but you don't have to worry about. Let's change that up again. You can keep the same style, just change the width a little bit, and then it's just back to like a normal Gegen press. So I think that's what we're just going to try and sort of flip between the two. So just looking sort of the players that we've got, and the players we don't have, and I'm looking at all the positions in this. Kenny Doherty is the strongest player we have in central midfield as a youth player. That's wild. That's good. Felix Berg is the strongest. Felix Berg is also the best centre back we've got up front. Kenny Doherty is the best. So if we ask for the opinion of Chiellini, because he's the best of it, and then we ask him to suggest for the current season, this is what he's thinking. He's thinking if we do it by ability, defensive midfield, not a lot. Again, like even Hodzer and Kratzig, he doesn't class as like really, really good defensive midfielders. Again, right back is a massive problem area. We've got 3 right backs, and only really Coyote is good enough. We have set a scouting focus to try and find one, and 3, Moncada and Pavel Nedved are on that. So we'll have a little look to see if they found anyone up. But all these being 3s are like just average. So like left winger, it's average. Attacker mids, if you have a little look, it's not great. We don't really have a proper attacker midfielder. So I do. This is the thing. I think this is the best, but because we don't have a good DM, I think we either need to sign a proper DM or we like stick with Ege and just force Ege to play as many games as possible so we can fulfill that. I mean, he's this good already, so he can fulfill another 2 stars. He'll be absolutely sensational. So I think we make him unavailable as that, and then Ege, I think, has to just play as our deep line playmaker all the time, and he now becomes the starter. That would then probably mean like people like Hodzer and Belic go, and then we start rotating more people in. Would he be happy? He wouldn't be happy being offered out, so let's not offer him out. What about Hodzer? Because he was crying recently about wanting to leave. He's open to speaking to clubs. Let's just transfer list them. I don't mind doing this. If they're open to it, transfer list them and just see what you get in. Dango Utara, I think, just needs binning. What a waste of money. 14 million. We thought he'd be great. He's come in and done absolutely nothing for us. Just not up to Premier League standard. Dan James, another one we'll probably look to get rid of. Squad planner again, if we go back to that. Lorenzo Luca is our best striker. Greenwood is essentially the best. Let's just suggest for everything. It is. It's Luca, isn't it? Luca's the best as a target forward. Can we change that? No, we can't. So Curtis Fleming. is saying it's Luca, Greenwood on the left, Utara on the right. That's interesting. Centre mids, Savic and Mariba. They're saying he's best. Yeah, okay. I'm building something here. And then Aslan's got to be there as the deep line playmaker. Very good rating. Very good rating. We have no outstanding youth prospects. But then again, if you look at Utara, they're saying he's a good rating. Mason Greenwood is a good rating. So I think this is... Oh, okay. So if we do... This is what he thinks the best 11 is. What's your change now? Yeah. You changed your mind. You said it was Lorenzo Luca a minute ago. So you go as a box-to-box. You go as an advanced playmaker. Greenwood is best as an inside forward on this side. We've seen it before. Borza Coyote as wing-backs. Hodza as a deep line playmaker. I might put Mariba as an attack on one so he brings the ball forward. So we've got ball carriers. Smith's out on the right. I actually agree with. I'm not a massive fan of Dango Utari this season, as I've made you all well aware. I actually think that is the best team. And then we need to start bringing people out. Ericsson, I think we're going to look to move on, unfortunately. Belic. We do have Franz Kratzig who can play DM as well, and like centre midfield, so we could potentially rotate Belic in as like a deep line playmaker in the middle, just as like literally purely backup. He's happy being backup anyway. Aslan goes in there. Cozy Dewberry is wanted, but they can't afford him yet. So do we let him go? Ephraim Yeboah again is another one who he's got something. I just don't know what. Again, I'll try and loan him out and see if we can just try and tinker and find what we've got. Trifunovic, I'm going to get rid of. He's not got enough for the ESC place anyway, but I'm going to transfer list him. I don't care that he doesn't want to go. He's not good enough. There's a few like that. Dan James being one of them. Man and Bush will probably go. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of the youth at all. I think that actually gives us a lot more like tactical fluidity. Like we in terms of like the rotation, we've obviously got like Cavallina who can play there. On the left hand side, we've got Kratzig who can play there. Charlie Frith can also be brought in. Centre defencer then, obviously we're getting rid of Seko. We've got Marin. We've also got Ibrahim. He can play in there. Right back wise, we've already got three. The DLP, obviously they don't have to be a DLP, but Mariba can play there. Obviously we spoke about Kratzig as well. Ericsson could even drop in there just as he's getting a bit older, or Ericsson can even cover this role. We've obviously got Ducore to come back. He can cover the box-to-box role. Mariba can play that as well. Kratzig can play it. Trevor Grinsell can play, obviously, box-to-box or ball winner. Smith's out on the right-hand side. We've got Utara, we've got Greenwell, Cole Palmer to come back in. Dan James, Cozy Dewberry, again on the left-hand side. Greenwood as an inside forward. We've got Trifunovic who can cover that. So I definitely think we need to look at that side. Maybe that's what Yeboah could do if we can't find a loan for him. And then up front, looks like Cannon's going to go. So we've got Luca, Dew. I think we need another striker coming in. But obviously we do have George Morgan out on loan, who is still absolutely slapping goals in for fun, George Morgan. 12 goals and 32 appearances for Tranmere. Is getting better by the day. We've got Melia Fraser there. But I think if we look at what we've got, we need to find... I mean, is this the right back one? If they found anyone? 3 in progress. Reed, Baker, Whiting, Giles de Meyer, and Fabin. Oh, crap. Rubbish, lads. But if we look at like the scouted players, and we look for... I have got homegrown in England ticked, just because we are struggling for registration at the moment. So if we have a little look then at who we could bring in potentially, Philip Bungard, who is like a football manager, like icon this year. Look at him. He's amazing. He's available on loan from Manchester United. We don't have anyone on loan at the minute. Did very, very well at Fulham in the Championship and Ipswich. Hasn't done much for United this season. As a rotation option, I think looks good. Particularly if we do lose Tom Cannon. Again, he can be registered. Let's just throw a cheeky loan offer and see what they want. They want silly money. But let's just throw it in because I think we just need that cover. Again, we are going to look to try and move a lot of people on. Fabio Silva is also on there. He played against us the last game. This guy's always good. He's always good. He's one of the wonder kids. Doesn't look like he's pushed on all that much. Cameron Archer is a decent Premier League striker. Mateo Joseph, I always go on about Mateo Joseph. I think he's very good still and could still come good. Kelechi Iheanacho, proven Premier League striker. There's a couple of players knocking about in there. Jay Stansfield is now transfer listed. He was smashing goals in the Championship for them. Has he not been very good in the Prem? He hasn't. 10 games. To be fair, though, only 2 starts. I actually really like the look of him. He did really well. Shoots a power, likes to beat the offside trap, tries first time shots. Stansfield looks quite good to me. David Washington, transfer listed for nothing. David Washington, that's interesting. If we take this off, though, let's take that off and have a little look and see who else pops up. Cyril Nagone has popped up a few times. Physical monster, can carry the ball really well, but I do think he's a winger. Jorginho Rutter, transfer listed. He was like a wonder kid. Oh, he can't finish, can he? Can't finish. Julian Rykhoff, quite cheap as well. That wouldn't be a bad signing, would it? Julian Rykhoff, quite tall, fits the profile we like. Marc Guy is still being banded about by Barcelona. We could have had him 2 years ago and probably given him a lot more experience than he's had. He's 6'3". Gustavo Ferreira, worth about 3 mil. What's his report say? Oh, I like the look of him. When he has played for Benfica B, he's scoring goals. And that's always a good sign. 6'3", good jump and reach. I feel like most of my episodes now are literally just me looking at this, to be honest. Simeone's son, nah. He's a decent little player. Yeah, he's okay. Gift Orban there. That'd be some signing, wouldn't it? What a player. Really creative as well, actually. I don't know what to do. We've definitely got to we've got to just try and like sort the squad out, I think. Because there's a lot of players. I mean, if Brentford came in with silly money, what's his release clause for clubs in Champions League? 37.5. If they came close to that, I think we'd just have to let him go. And again, obviously, we've got someone like Melia Fraser who we're looking at rotating into the team. Obviously scored in the last game, which was massive. That was his first goal for the club. Yeah, a lot of thinking for January. Oh, interestingly, Tom Cannon is now saying he doesn't care about his lack of football. Well, that is sod's law, isn't it? There's also, I did forget to mention, obviously we do, on our recruitment focuses, always tend to look at out-of-contract players. There's a lot who have popped up on there. A lot of players who are like fairly young as well, 25, 26. You've got Jacob Kaminski, who's 24. He looks like a good player. So I have been looking at players and whether we can bring any of these lads in. Ilias Akamrich, Akamak. Didn't he play for Barca? Am I thinking of someone else? No, Villarreal. I'm thinking of someone else. But there's obviously a lot of players who we can bring in. But it's again like, do we bring them in now and sign them now? Will they offer anything that we don't have now? Probably not. There's a lot of players on there that are a bit naff. Someone like Bruma, who is normally very good on FM, but physically is declining now. So I've just got to be careful. Again, January, I feel like that's where I messed it up last year. We signed too many players in January. and it just played havoc with the dynamics. So offers in for Seko. The highest is Wolves and Middlesbrough. Ipswich have come in with a loan deal, so we're going to reject that. We're going to accept. To be honest, I don't need the money up front, so it doesn't really matter because all of these are like there or thereabouts. So I'll accept all of them, and then he can just choose which one he prefers to go to. Tom Cannon, Blackburn, £7 million up front. Nottingham Forest, the Premier League, and have offered 6 instalments. Let's just go for the Blackburn offer. Oh, he wants to go to Al Hilal. Okay, we'll accept all 3 then. He's just going to go to Al Hilal, let's be honest. Trevor Grinsell, a couple of loan offers in for him. Anyone willing to play him more than a fringe? No, so we're going to reject all of those. Melia Fraser has had Tom Cannon, you can start off. Melia Fraser, impact subs. Well, no, he's an impact sub for me in the Premier League, so doesn't really make sense, does it? Frith, no one wants him. Okay. We're looking at cooking now. We're looking at cooking. We've had one offer in for Valentin Hodzer for £18 million from Sunderland. Sunderland are 12th in the Championship, and he's interested in going there. And I think that just says a lot about what type of player Hodzer is. I think he's a steady player. I mean, over the season and a half we've had him, he's been really steady. But it's a massive, massive fee to be getting for someone like that. So I'm happy to accept that. And then again, we'll think of rotating more people in. Someone like Harry Bond, who is out on loan at the moment, he's more of like a deep lying playmaker. So I think Aslan and Bond maybe they're like jostling for that DM role. So the Bundgaard offer has been accepted, and Blackburn have come in for an offer of £20 million for Cozy Dewberry. Let's bump this up to 10. £22.5 million. It looks like we are going to send Cozy Dewberry out. Hasn't performed this season, really. 1 goal, 1 assist. And if you look at his medical report, above average injury susceptibility. He keeps getting injured. I mean, we're in 25-26 season now. Ankle ligaments, tight calf, hamstring, upper leg, and hamstring again. So both the same hamstring. I think it's just creeping in. But again, this is the worst part of the save, is losing players. Cozy Dewberry, what a player. What a player he's been for us. Do I recall George Morgan? Is that unfair? Raekwon Nelson is injured. He's done his ankle ligaments. Osman Kamara is doing well, so I don't want to recall him. This is the worst part of the save, is losing players. It really is. Harry Bond, I've just mentioned. Again, more like a deep line playmaker. Oh, I hate it. I'm going to recall Ronald Jones because he's not playing. I hate it, man. It's the worst. Cozy Dewberry. I never thought we'd be getting rid of him. But again, I don't necessarily need the money, but I can't turn down a good fee for the player that is like either going a little bit backwards or stagnating slightly. I think it's harder now with the late bloomer thing. They're obviously changing it where players can develop from like 25, 26, 27 and don't necessarily like have that massive spare of development between like 21 and 23. Obviously, we've just recalled Ronald Jones as well, and he's still an under-21 player. We're talking about the right-backs. I think that means that we can start rotating him into the team and using him a bit more as one of the 8. And I think we need to just start doing it now. Coyote is obviously the starter, and then we've got Bogle, who I would probably say is the third choice behind Man and Bush. He is 26, though, so he's probably like in his prime. Where's Marnan gone? Marnan Bush. He's a bit older. He's 32. Is declining. I still like Marnan Bush, but again, if we can get a bit of money in for him and then bring Jones in, this is what I'm thinking. I just need, again, probably to the detriment of some of the dynamics, I just need to now just be ruthless in the players that we're using and the players that we're getting rid of. We're going to bring Cole Palmer back in and start rotating him back in. So here, Cole Palmer and although he's not been performing well, Dango Utara, they're the two better right wingers. So it makes total sense to use both of them and to let Cozy Dubry go, which again, I didn't think I'd ever say. I didn't think I'd say it. So changes for the Derby game then. We're going to bring some of the young lads in. We've got Digbaroku, Frith, Kratzig, Grinsell, Smits, and Cavallina all playing. I think I'm going to play that one off camera, and then we will come back for the United game. But I'm going to give Milinkovic-Savic a half, just so he's got a bit more match fitness. And I think what we're going to do for the summer is we're going to change the sort of the template that I've been doing for transfers, because I think that's definitely what's been like sort of like hampering us. I think I'm going to allow myself one experienced player, so probably one of the released guys, one younger player, so someone who's got like a bit of potential like Smith, and then one first team player. So again, our class Utara is the first team player this season that we brought in. I think we just need to now knuckle down. We're 3 seasons in. I think that's now, important player. You can be an important, or you can be one of these. But you're not going to be a fringe player in the English leagues, because that is a waste. So yeah, one experienced player, one I'd say first team ready, first team starter, and then one player with a bit of potential. And that's what we're going to do now for the transfer. And those just the 3, keep the dynamics going, keep the core of the team going, and start working these 8 in. Might have just seen there, it looks like Martin Bush is going to go to Freiburg. Actually, think I hate this save, Look at this. 1 tackle, 2 tackles, back to him, curls it top corner. Well, we came back into it. Not very. I mean, we battered them, but the fact we went 2-0 down so early on with like some first team players on the pitch is massively concerning. Right, Cozy Dubry, unbelievable. Cozy Dubry is out the door. Yes, he has. He's been a fantastic servant. I would happily have him back, but he needs to develop. 17 million. We paid 600 grand for him. That being said, then, is the director of football, is he going to find us anyone? Let's just say we wanted an advance forward, a transfer. Is there anyone? This is the problem, isn't it? Like, unless you go, Beto's available for transfer. Chris Ramos, Andrea Pinamonti, what a player he used to be on FM. Nowhere near as good anymore. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, if you're looking for like certain players or whatnot, you're probably not going to find them. It's really frustrating. So yeah, we've got a lot. It looks like Bundgaard's going to come in, so there's always that. Oddly enough, Jed Spencer's listed for loan now. Remember, we were after him for a while. Is there anyone knocking around current ability-wise that we could bring in as a striker? Not Felice. No, it's just all a bit naff, isn't it? Like, January's hard. January's a really hard market to shop in. Oh my god, how good does Profundi look? Oh my god. Yeah, it's always really hard to shop in this window. But, every now and again, like, someone does pop up that you think, oh god, okay, we could go for him now. I mean, obviously, I said it before, like, this current window, I'm looking to just move everybody on that we don't need at the club. And I like Lorenzo Luca, but I don't like the idea of starting with the target forward. I like that he can play complete forward, to be honest. So I might even train him up to do that and start playing him as that. I do like the target forward role, but I think it just comes with limitations. And if you've got like a fairly decent centre-back behind you, it's fairly one-dimensional. So George Morgan has scored again. He's 13 goals so far this season for Tranmere. Again, a player that we brought in has got a bit of potential in him. Somehow still hasn't been capped for Wales, But I just think there's just I say it every video, there's just something about them. We have got a game against Manchester United now. Cole Palmer, they reckon, can play 75 minutes of football, but we're not going to put Cole Palmer in from the off. We are going to put Utara in. They reckon Utara is the best right winger. We're going to give Dew the start, because again, I did mention about like Luca, although he does play well. Dew has scored the most goals this season for the strikers, and I just think he's got a bit of energy in him. The legs, he's a pressing forward, so he's coming in. So Palmer, Kratzig, Luca, Eriksson, Grinsel, James, Utara, Marin, and Cavallini make the bench. Coyote, Sangata, yeah, pretty much what you'd expect, what we discussed. But Smits is going to start out on the right hand side. So I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Even this season, I think like if we bring people back to Ashton Gate, I think we can beat them. We just need to start building a bit of form now. We're just not looking like up to it, and it's quite concerning. Do you know what? I'm going to make him an inside forward on attack. It's quite concerning because we just don't seem to be getting out the blocks. We're in January now. I think this time last season we were already safe. We're nowhere near safe this season. We're only about 5-6 points off the relegation zone. So yeah, we need to just start building something and doing it fairly quickly. That being said, United have a corner which they'll probably score off. And no, they head it over the bar. You know what? Like, we've really limited United. With 23 minutes in, there's only been that one effort, which was that header over the bar. For the entire game. So we've limited them quite well. As Mariba and Ege are playing nice football between each other. Here's Smits. It's a poor touch from Smits, and there was a lot of space to run into. And his poor touch allows Rashford to win it back. Interestingly enough, Francelinho's not pressing anyone. You're the pressing forward, my friend. There you go. He heard me. Francelinho. Still, that's a penalty. Peter Banks has given a penalty. They're going to check the VAR. Francelinho, that's what I'm on about. I just think, I like Lorenzo Luca. I just think a target man limits you so much unless you're playing a particular style. Who's going to take it, actually? Is it? Oh, it's Milinkovic-Savic. Here you go. World-class central midfielder, apparently. Serge Milinkovic-Savic has absolutely bagged it. What a penalty from Milinkovic-Savic. He made that look so easy. He's absolutely onion bagged it. Look at this. Bang. Top corner. So Bristol City 1, Manchester United 0. A result which would see us move up to 13th. And again, we look to be... I don't know. It's a really weird game, to be honest. Here's Anthony for United. I'd love Borza to actually get back. He was jogging. Did anybody clock him there just jogging back? He was jogging back and bloody Ege was covering him. Good Lord. Right, here's Mason Mount now. Good ball in, headed up. And Coyote doesn't clear. It's back to Mount. Martinez over the bar. Interestingly that they had Rasmus Højlund on the edge of the area there rather than like in there. But it is what it is. Casemiro wins that back now, and Varane. Ooh. We need a foot in, lads. No, it's going to go straight to De Gea. I have changed Milinkovic-Savic to a centre midfield on attack. I changed him to. I'm going to just change him to support because he's too far forward there. There's a massive gap in this like hole every time. So I'll change him to support and like let his player traits do the rest rather than his player instructions. Ege back to Sangante. Ege. Schmitz. It's going to take a bit of getting used to Schmitz, I think. But he's bombing it down the line here, and he's pulled it back to Coyote. There's a ball on for Ege. It's a good first touch. He's gone for it. Oh, that's a good effort. A couple of shots off target now as well. So, what? Hang on. We need to do this. No, it's already on. We need to, I think, work the ball into the box because that's seen to pay dividends in the last game. But Smits, that seems to like detriment wingers working the ball into the box, and we obviously like playing with wingers, so it's a bit of a catch-22. We've got a corner here which Mariba whips to the far post looking for Fallou Diouf, headed on. Ege's underneath it. Rashford challenging him. He's gone all the way back to Borza. The youth. Give it back to him. He does. Borza. Sangante. We're sticking with the highlight. Coyote now. Milinkovic-Savic to Schmidt. Ilya Mariba! Oh, it's a good effort. Yeah, the pressing forward is working, isn't it? I mean, look, we've only had one shot on target. Yeah, I think we need to work it into the box. We really do. So first half over, 1-0 so far. The only one really not performing, I wouldn't say they're not performing, they're just slightly below average, is like Greenwood, Borza, the youth, and Mariba. But Mariba actually played the ball through, which won the pen. Frank Schmidt, they are saying, is on a 7.1, and that's very good for a young lad, isn't it? We'll stick with what it's like for now. Milinkovic-Savic is quite tired, so we'll keep an eye on him and probably bring Trevor in to play that centre midfield support role. Like later in the second half, we'll probably then rest Schmidt, bring Cole Palmer and get him some game time. Greenwood is complaining about an injury and saying he wants to come off. He's only got a tight thigh, but for obvious reasons, we don't want that to hinder him. So we will start making changes now then. We're 52 minutes in. I don't really want to be making that many changes. We'll make the one change for now. We'll bring Dan James on, let him run at Manchester United, because if you look, they're very high. So I think Dan James saying, just sort of running down the byline and cutting in will probably help us out a lot more than what Greenwood was offering, to be honest. We clear it away. Francelinho holds it up, finds Mariba. There's a lot of runners off the ball. If Mariba can find what he's found, Frank Smith. He's round his man. Go on, Frank. Ball across to Milinkovic-Savic to Ilya Mariba. Oh, this finishing is so frustrating, you know. His finishing so frustrating, Mariba. Let's make those changes now. Let's put Milinkovic-Savic as the advanced playmaker on attack. And let's bring Mariba off, because his finishing's not been good enough. We'll bring Trevor in, centre mid on support. The centre back and the left back aren't doing enough, really. I'm going to bring Kratzig on. We'll leave the youth out there. Francelinho's looking quite tired as well. So we will bring Lorenzo Luca on. But that would mean that we only have the one sub left. So Cole Palmer would have to come in there. Yeah, let's do that. We'll bring Luca on as a complete forward. We'll bring Palmer on as a winger on that side. One thing that really annoys me about players is the not the looking nervous, it's the struggling to meet the pace of the match. Particularly someone like Dan James. It popped up for him before. So Lorenzo! Oh, what a save! Oh, what a save! You are a proven Premier League player. You've played in the Premier League for years. You've got good stamina. You've got good physical attributes. So how you fail to meet the pace of the game, I don't know. It really annoys me when that pops up, because I feel like it's just the way of the game, just sort of dropping your attributes down a little bit. Dalot to Casemiro, out to Luke Shaw. This is the first meaningful attack from United. De Gea only punches it. Here's Profundi. Mason Mount. We're doing well. We're forcing them back. He's found Profundi again. And Profundi, oh my God, what an effort. We've got a corner on this side. Obviously, Luca is on the pitch now and is probably the target for Kratzig. Swings it over to the far post. Lorenzo Luca's off. It's cleared away only as far as Dan James. He's running at them. Getting shot on target, lads. Manchester United corner late in the day. 81 minutes on the clock. And Mason Mount was there. What? What have you given? Peter Banks loves a penalty from the looks of it. What's he given? A push by me. Lorenzo Luca pushed Mason Mount, did he? Right. Okay. Because my big 6'7" striker feels the need to push their 5'7". Oh, De Gea, you should get a hand to that, lad. How very frustrating. How very, very frustrating. Both teams really only. Oh, and of course he gets injured once he scored. Piss off. Both teams only really making inroads by winning a penalty. We've obviously had better chances as well. That header by Lorenzo Luca before should have resulted in a goal and never. And United are shutting up shop. I'm not attacking them because they will just counter me. It's Manchester United, the most overpowered team in Football Manager. So I'm just going to see out the draw. A point is a point against Manchester United. I can't scoff at that. It takes us above Newcastle. This will just surely be a game-ending highlight unless something magical happens. Which, there's not enough time for that really, is there? Oh, Trev. No. Thank you. Bloody hell. End of the game then. Bristol 1. Bristol City 1. Manchester United 1. Green sheets of recovery, do I want to say? I don't really want to put a gegenpress on. I hate the fact that you can just throw a gegenpress in. But it is what it is. 1-1 against Manchester United. A 2-0 victory against Wolverhampton Wanderers, which sort of stops the rot. 2-2 draw with Derby, which was outrageous. We have got the game against Derby to play again coming up in a couple of days' time, but I'm going to leave that episode there. Thank you very much for watching. When we next come back, it'll probably be around like March, April time. We'll have an idea, like an understanding of where we are in the season, so to see any more youth players coming in and all the good stuff that we like on Football Manager. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time for the Ashton Gate 8.